7-year-old. And they're nice boys. They love school. The school they go to, they do so many lovely things. Every year they have Pirate Day, and it's when they teach all the subjects through piratey things, right? So the kids come in the morning and the classroom is transformed with Somalian flags. They pick 2 affluent white kids, lock them in the gym cupboard, the other kids block up, and then begins literacy. They start writing their ransom notes, and then there's all the business skills, all the back and forth negotiations. Are the parents going to pay up? Do we need to send an ear? And then the money comes in. They do their maths lesson. They do their little Excel spreadsheets, and the whole day is a big fundraiser. Last year they raised £300,000, and it all went to children in need. It didn't really. That was children in need. I like being a mum, but I'm really pleased to be out of the baby stage now. Ooh, any other parents in? I used to be on like a breastfeeding forum, and people would post things like, "Oh, I'm so sad to come to the end of my breastfeeding journey." If I had to do an honest end of breastfeeding post, it would go something like this: "I'm free! I'm free! I'm finally free from the shackles of breastfeeding! So long, big leggy boobs! I would happily embrace the shriveled remains of my breasts. I'm free!" Yeah, how I see it now is that my boobs have retired, because they've done their job, they've attracted a mate, they've nourished 2 children, and now they're heading south for their retirement. I wanted to get them a comfy retirement home. So I went to the shop and I picked out a bra that just looked comfortable. I went to pay for it, and they said, "Oh, this is actually a post-surgery bra. You can fill in a form to claim back the VAT on this bra." Now, I don't want to go on a massive feminist rant, but do you really have to have had surgery to earn yourself a comfortable bra? Why can't all bras be comfortable, just like men's underwear? You don't get the wonder wank, do you? So anyway, I got this bra, and I got home, and I did feel a bit sad. I said to my husband, "It's a shame because I really liked my boobs 10 years ago." Now, I know he meant to be kind and nice. He meant this really as a compliment to be encouraging. He went, "Oh, love, I liked your boobs 5 years ago." Thanks, Dave. That whole conversation actually happened about 3 years ago. So it's actually now 8 years since he enjoyed my breasts. But anyway, what I do miss from having young babies is when we sort of cuddle up and I'd read a little story to them, a little baby book. I brought one here tonight. I don't know if you're aware of this kind of book. That's Not My Pony. Give me a cheer if you're aware of That's Not My Pony. Okay, if you're not aware, I'm just going to quickly take you through it. That's not my pony, its saddle is too squashy. That's not my pony, its patches are too velvety. That's not my pony, its hooves are too bumpy. That's not my pony, its tail is too tufty. That's my pony, its nose is so soft. Right, this author is the 4th most best-selling children's author in the UK. She's worth 57 million. And she's written 50 of these books. So she's written not my owl, that's not my fairy, that's not my unicorn. It's like she's just discovered Microsoft Word's find and replace button. Now, you might be thinking, okay, it's simple, it's for children, but it's the concept and the textures and the illustrations. She's not the illustrator. A different woman, Rachel Wells, is the illustrator. How annoyed must she be that she didn't think of the words? Can you imagine her going into work each day like, oh, I just hope I've got enough money to pay my mortgage, and Fiona Watt, the author, is there with a 57 million just in cash on the desk. Imagine that. The worst thing about this whole story is they actually had to buy this book to make this point. And I didn't want to buy it from a real bookshop because I didn't want it to be worth 57 million and £5.99. So I bought it from Amazon used books. I don't know if you've ever bought something from there, but they describe the condition of this book as good, which according to them means there may be notes in the margin, but the original text is still legible. If you were writing notes in the margin of this book, you were doing way more work than the author. Thanks. So now that my kids are a bit bigger, they're more into like Roald Dahl and Julia Donaldson. Do you know Julia Donaldson?
Yeah.
She's most famous for The Gruffalo. But she's written loads of lovely books. It's just a shame that she hates Northerners. She writes rhymes that only work in the Southern accent. She'll try and rhyme scarf with giraffe. She'll try and rhyme can't with plant. And I always get to this dilemma whenever I get to that bit. Should I stay true to myself and my own accent? Or should I change just to make it rhyme? And I know she's doing that on purpose just to mess with my head. I imagine she's down there, and she's like a massive Tory. And she's like, those Northerners are not worthy of my literature. They do not contribute enough to the economy to deserve the gift of a rhyme. Any stories in tonight? You've been honestly a super lovely audience tonight, and I've enjoyed myself a lot. But I just thought I'd share with you before I leave a little story of my worst ever gig. Do you want to hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. This is 100% a true story, and it was horrendous. My worst ever gig was when everyone thought that I was a massive racist. Now, I know I did say some stuff about blacking up earlier, but honestly, I'm not a racist. Like, I would never tell a racist joke. But sometimes you might not realise that a joke is like just subtly a bit racist. Like this one. Have you heard this one, right? Why did the baker have brown hands? Anyone know the answer? Someone must know the answer. Because he needed a poo. Get it? Needed. And he was a baker. I'm not saying it's a good joke. But what I am saying is, why shouldn't the baker have brown hands? Right? Why are you assuming he's a white guy? Why are you going to assume he's a guy? Yeah? So I've been thinking about that joke for a number of years. And then I got asked to do a gig at a church fete, because that is the level of comedian I am. And the compere came up, and he wasn't like a proper compere like Rob, he was just like some guy from the church. So he said, as all good comedians say, I don't know any jokes apart from this one, why did the baker have brown hands? And I was like, ooh, this is my chance to be hilarious and, speak out against racism, because remember, I'm not a racist. So he said, why did the baker have brown hands? And I said, because he was Asian. Everyone just stared at me, and it was completely silent for what felt like forever. And then slowly, people started talking again. You know, in that way that middle-class people do when they're actually outraged. And it slowly dawned on me, he didn't say, why did the baker have brown hands? He told a slightly different version of that joke. He said, why did the baker have dirty hands? Because he was Asian! Thanks very much for having me. Banana jokes.